Something else your book does not mention here is that one of the Ptolemies set up described the universe in such a way that it was believed for 1800, in his view of the universe, the Earth was at the center. Then you had the sun up here, and Mercury and Venus went around the sun. The moon went around the Earth, but the sun went around the Earth also. Make long story short, his view of the solar system, basically, wait a minute, see if I got it right. His view of the solar system, where the Earth was the center, and the moon and sun went around the Earth, and all the planets then went around the sun, but which also went around the Earth. This view of the solar system was to last for 1800 years. Wrong though it was by today's standards, mankind believed it up until the time of Galileo, who lived in the early 1600s. Your book doesn't mention that here, though. Ptolemy. He's one of the Ptolemy family that ruled Egypt. Some of them became astronomers. And Ptolemy set up maps that were followed by sailors for many, many generations. And some of his maps, folk, you don't have to believe this if you want to, but some of his maps include North and South America, and some of his maps even include Antarctica. And some of his maps show that Antarctica is divided in two. Antarctica is the only continent in the world that has a river that runs all the way from one ocean to this ocean on the other side of it. Runs straight through the continent, divides the continent in two. We wouldn't know that if it weren't for radar, but Antarctica is today under 3 miles of ice. But some of Ptolemy's maps included North and South America and Antarctica. But his astronomy, by today's standards, was wrong. One of them said, give me a lever and a place to stand, I can move the earth. In other words, basically, I don't know what they teach younger generation, but we were taught that a lever is a machine, and all machinery consists of wheel and axles, levers. Given the right lever, you could lift anything. He said, give me a lever and a place to stand, and I can move the world. Philosophy. Epicureanism The Epicurean philosophy said, let us eat, drink, and make merry, for tomorrow we die. In other words, life is short. We know that. So let's just live it up. Indulge in parties. Don't try to get ahead. Don't try to get rich. Just simply live it up. And then when our time is up, we die, and that's the end of it. Pleasure was the main goal. The idea was to try to be as free as we could from emotional turmoil, free from worry, free from, freedom from worry came from mind at rest. Now, they had problems with depression the same way a lot of people today do. And these philosophies were designed, among other things, to relieve and ease some of the burdens of life and the burdens of their own weight of depression. Hey, just live it up. We're all going to die anyway. Be happy. Don't free yourself from worry and fear, and all will be well. Not every Greek agreed with that. There was another school, the school of the Stoics. Stoicism believed that you should get involved with the world. A lot of your wealthier people, your people in political life, were Stoics. They believed that you should have a few friends. Friends will hurt you, friends will slow you down, or friends will hamper you or take advantage of you. But live a life fairly well alone. Keep a stiff upper lip. Don't show emotion. If you've ever watched the original Star Trek movies, Spock reminds me somewhat of a Stoic. Don't show emotion. Keep, they were concerned with individuals and happiness, but they took a different approach to the problem. The way to happiness is to eat, drink, live it up. The other, work hard, get gain, build up yourself, build your family up. When you die, turn over a large estate to your family. This was the Stoics. Then be able to bear whatever life offered. That's where we get our word for Stoic. If disaster hits, just keep a stiff upper lip. Don't let it bother you. Don't let it worry you. Move on to the next phase of your life. The real Stoic was generally considered a good citizen. Might even could be a good government official. In other words, don't worry so much about the polis like the earlier Greeks had. Worry more about yourself. In the old Greek system, you sacrifice yourself for the good of the polis. In the new Greek way of thinking, you sacrifice the polis more for yourself. Now, I've already mentioned how the Greeks eventually lost interest in their old gods. But and for a while they went through a period of time where they became skeptical. Some of them outright atheistic, some of them what we might call agnostic. Prove to me that gods exist. But then they became very, very religious again. The mystery religions came about. Now, mystery religions got the name mystery because they were secret religions, secret organizations, where their members met in secret and told no one outside what they did in their meetings. And a lot of times they worshipped the ancient goddess Isis. Your book pronounces it Isis. Anyway, they believed that a Savior God had come to earth. Now this will sound a lot like Christianity, folk, but I'm going to tell you in a few minutes there's some very big differences. But a Savior God had come to earth. He had died and resurrected, and our big goal was to unite ourselves with this Savior God. And you could achieve eternal life by being initiated into a union with this God. This goddess who had died and risen again. Now, folks, if it sounds like Christianity, there were two super important differences between the mystery religion and Christianity. Difference number one, Christianity was wide open about what it believed. No mysteries here. You ask a typical Christian, what do you believe? He's supposed to be able to tell you. No mystery. Also, the mystery religions only wanted in their group the prize catches. In other words, the mayor of the town, the highly educated, the man who had acquired a whole lot of wealth. So each little mystery club would pride himself on, we have in our group this rich man over here. But the other one would say, well, we have in our group this man over here, and he's richer than anybody you have. Reminds me of some fights that college fraternities used to have. I don't know if this still goes on campus, where fraternities would fight to try to get some of the best people, the fraternity would try to get the men, sororities, women, try to get the most best personality people, the persons from the better families. Each one of them trying to outdo the other, see which of the better people they could get. Christianity, on the other hand, said, hey, we'll take in anybody, the poor, the crippled, the uneducated, the loser. The mystery religions would shy away from these people. So two big differences. Now, again, getting into the modern world a little bit, a lot of the fraternities we have on the campus, I already mentioned, remind me somewhat of the old mystery cults, where the fraternities will get together with a lot of young people and keep what they do a secret and try to get the very best of the people on campus to join. Reminds me also of the Masons, who do a lot of the same thing, try to recruit the most successful people in the community, the richest, the highest aspiring. And they'll promise, say, if you join this club, we might can get you in a political office, or we might get you promotions in the workplace. And a lot of the workplace, you get promoted based on whether or not you're a member of these clubs. Now, if any of you want to argue with me, it's not so anymore, you can have your say-so. Even at Lockheed, it was known, even though it was kept very quiet, that some people got promoted based on membership in these clubs. Of course, you had to have the qualifications. I mean, you couldn't become an engineer unless you were qualified to begin with. But if two people equally qualified, and one of them was a Mason and one was not, if the man who was making the decision was a Mason himself, you might expect the Mason might get promoted. Again, people argue this doesn't go on anymore. It is known that this did go on even a couple generations ago in our country. Whether it still goes on or not, it's difficult to say. Isis, an Egyptian goddess, a big part of this. Now, I'll say this about Isis, or Isis, however you want to pronounce her name. There are persons who insist that she is still worshipped today in secret. Now, I don't spend a lot of time watching TV, but my children took an interest in the Smallville series that was aired for about 3 years and ended about 2 years or so ago. Smallville, and every once in a while I'd see that name Isis. It wasn't emphasized, but it was there. ISIS, International Space Station, known as ISIS. And then more recently, the group that's taking over or trying to take over Syria and Iraq, known as ISIS. Sometimes I call it ISIL. So this name keeps popping up throughout history from time to time. It's like the cult of ISIS never really died. Again, there's something about ISIS, something I've never been able to mention in another class before. I mean, because hey, I didn't know that such a cult existed until April, when it started making headlines. I mean, I'm talking about the group that's now trying to take over Syria and Iraq. Again, same name. Now, a lot of people believe that the mystery religions helped to pave the way for Christianity, that Christianity might not have been able to spread as easily had it not been for these mystery religions that taught the people that there was a Savior God who, but for most people, most of the ordinary people were left out. Christianity was different, and it said, hey, everybody who wants to can come in and join. We'll take in anybody. All right. We will talk more about the mystery religions later.